Hey guys and gals, can't forget about you. Welcome back to another episode, another week in the Joe's Bits and Bobs. I have a few articles to go over with you, and one of them happens to be the comment of the week. And again, I'll let you know. All you got to do is either let me know down below, or you can reach out to me on my Discord or wherever else, and I may feature you in the comment of the week. So let's just get right into it, and let's roll that intro. All right, first things first. Uh, Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. And you may have noticed my microphone is actually not coming up from above. That's because I got a new mic arm, and I'll go over that in a separate video. As well as I was hoping to get the Elgato MK2 for the Stream Deck Plus. Unfortunately, that has been pushed back until the end of April before they can ship it out. They emailed me yesterday. It is what it is. It's just not, what I had in mind. I was hoping it would be better, but I digress. Anyways, let's just get right into this week's news. Two of them may not necessarily be good news, especially for gamers. So let's just get right in there and see what we got. Again, all the links to the articles will be down in the description below. So the first article has to deal with the Trump administration, and apparently they're forcing the China's Tencent to sell its stakes in Epic Games, Riot Games, and Supercell. Apparently, those that just came along and haven't heard the news, something similar happened with TikTok. Granted, we've been kind of questioning the security on TikTok for a while, and now they want to go after games such as, like Clash of Clans, because, Supercell, League of Legends, Riot Games, and Epic Games, like Fortnite and stuff like this. We're going to go ahead and read the article before I give you my opinion on this and whether or not it's something that should be done or should not be done. I'm going to try to give both sides of the argument. And like I said, I don't like going into politics, but when politics starts getting involved in the gaming and the technology space, unfortunately, I have to, kind of tread carefully is what I'm trying to say. And also when you comment down below, please be respectful for everyone, and, because everyone has their own opinions. So let's go ahead and start reading. So the Trump administration is actively debating whether to allow Chinese tech giant Tencent to keep its ownership stake in several major game companies, including Fortnite creator Epic Games, League of Legends developer Riot Games, and Finnish mobile studio Supercell, the Financial Times has reported. So, and a senior White House official said to have held messages to assess whether the investments pose a national security risk ahead of President Trump's planned April trip to China to meet with the president of China, President Xi. So apparently Tencent holds a 28% stake in Epic Games and fully owns Riot Games and has a controlling stake in Supercell. The studio, like I said, behind Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, and whatnot. So let's see if anything comes on. Major is no surprise. Committee's main concern is user data. I agree. At the end of the day, though, I think it's up to us. But if our data is being sold for nefarious purposes, I can understand it. I can see why they would want to go down this route, but hopefully they, don't just outright ban, these games, because Fortnite is one of the most popular games on the internet. And Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, I think is still one of the more popular games among, people who just want to waste time, and especially if you're on your break at work or something, you want to play a game or something. So if there is any action that goes down, I hope it's the same thing they did with TikTok, where they, just sold it to a US developer or something like that. Maybe they can make a same deal or a similar deal. I don't know how this is going to work. And, if it doesn't work, will we have to, look for a different game? I mean, I could see other games being just as bad for user data collection as, as Epic Games and Tencent. I mean, I don't know. Let me know down below. What do you think about this? You think it's something we should be concerned about? You think we should worry about our national security with some of these Chinese-made games? Do you think they collect enough data on us to, potentially sway us in a certain way or whatever? And yeah, just let me know. So we'll just go ahead and get on to the next article. Again, this is from Tom's Hardware. We're getting bad articles out for it. And it happens to deal with California. Yay! You remember a couple weeks ago, I gave you my opinion on the age verification of Discord. And speaking of Discord, I have not been prompted to put my age verification in yet. So I don't know if that's a good thing or if it's a bad thing, but at the end of the day, like I said, I don't think we should be putting our IDs in for everything we do, including, online platforms such as Discord and stuff like that. And if it, is to protect, kids and stuff like that, then they should just ban bad stuff outright. Don't force everyone else to put their identification in or face scan or whatever they want. At the end of the day, I think it's the parents' job to protect their children from harmful content, and they should be closely monitoring their children, including seeing what sites they're visiting, and put parental controls on that device. Now, that is my opinion, and, again, you're free to disagree, and, you can let me know down below. What do you think? But let's go ahead and read this bill. So, California has introduces age verification laws for all operating systems, including Linux and SteamOS, user age verified during OS account setup. All operating systems. So I'm assuming that also means Windows and Mac as well. So California Digital Age Assurance Act, AB 1043, signed by Governor Gavin Newsom in October of 2025, requires every operating system provider in California to collect age information from all users at account setup and transmit that data to app developers via a real-time API, with the law taking effect on January 1st, 2027. I'm already seeing, several problems with this. Again, there are hackers out there. And let's actually, I'm going back there. There are hackers out there. And I think this is just a bad intention altogether. I mean, intention might not necessarily be all that bad, but with the recent hacks on like Discord or Amazon and everything else, where your data just gets thrown out to the dark web, sold to these companies, this right here, I would say, needs a massive pushback. I mean, it's already signed by the governor, Gavin Newsom. I don't know if it is legal or not, but then again, I don't think, the way the Constitution is set up and everything, it doesn't have anything about computers and operating systems. So I don't think there's anything legally that can be done to prevent this, other than the fact that, I hate to say it, is, if you're very worried about this, but you really need your Windows, Android, even iOS, apparently. Yeah, mobile devices too will have this. You have to verify your age. And, we all, had a very bad opinion, or especially with Discord, a lot of people had a very bad thing that they're going to leave Discord because of the age verification thing and the fact that Discord just had that hack. And over like 20,000 IDs was basically out for grabs. Government IDs, nonetheless. And here we are with the governor of California introducing a bill for more age verification. So I think, in order to avoid this, you're going to have to either use probably a VPN through your router, or, you might even have to, consider, and I hate to say it, and I don't want, to get political or anything, you might have to move to a different state. I mean, just recently, Mark Zuckerberg left California. Apparently, that's because of the wealth tax. So, this is getting scary at this point. Well, we're going to go ahead and read a little bit more. I'm going to switch back. So, apparently, the law's broad definition of an operating system provider, and that's what, I just was saying, means anyone who develops, licenses, or controls the operating system software on a computer, mobile device, or any other general purpose computing device. Pulls in not just Windows, Mac, Android, and iOS, but Linux distributions and Valve's SteamOS. Does that also mean like Xbox and Sony PlayStation? Because that's technically also an operating system as well. I don't know. Again, this is something that I think is going to be bad in general, and if this is allowed to stand, it's going to spread across the country, and maybe even potentially even the world, because with Discord and that. But according to AB 1043, OS providers must maintain a reasonable, consistent, real-time application programming interface that categorizes users into 4 age brackets: under 13, 13 to under 16, 16 to under 18, and 18 or older, and hand that single to any developer who requests it when their app is downloaded or launched. Yikes. Developers who receive the single are deemed to have actual knowledge of their users' age range under the law, which shifts legal liability for age-appropriate content decisions onto them. Penalties for noncompliance run up to $2,500 per affected child for negligent violations and $7,500 for intentional ones, enforced by the California Attorney General. I don't know what to say, people in California, but it looks like you're going to have to give your ID if you want to, browse through your email or whatnot. I don't know. I mean, I don't know at this point. It's just one of these things that, creeps up on us, and slowly they're just making it more utopian for us. And let's just go on to the next one. All right. And it's actually a good one. I don't know why everything is all to the right in that. I just realized on OBS, and sorry about the fact that the web is all the way over there. Eventually, I want to actually get I want to get an overlay where I can put my face cam on one part of the screen, probably like in the middle on the left or something. Or, I don't know. I want to do something that's unique. But let's just go ahead and get right into this article. It's about AMD's FSR4 upscaling to any Vulkan game. And this is from WCCF Tech. Again, link is in the description below. So, let me just... Upscaler does what AM don't. This time, the Upscaler team has cooked up something big. They finally solved one of the biggest issues to date with FSR4, the Vulkan wall. You see, since its launch nearly a year ago, FSR4 has remained off limits for Vulkan due to some technical limitations or the other. Frankly, I'm not sure anyone cares too much about the exact reason. What the company does care about is the fact that it has been nearly a year without any development in this regard. No communication, no plan to finally bring FSR4 to Vulkan games, nothing. This, as well as AMD's reluctance to officially release the INT8 version of FSR4, has been one of the biggest pain points for users. So, how has the Upscaler team managed to pull off the impossible? Technical details are currently scarce, but what's clear for now is that whatever fundamental technology limitations prevents FSR4 from being added to Vulkan games hasn't been lifted. Upscaler is simply added a compatibility path, so to speak. If details on the actual implementation become clear, I'll be sure to add this in the update to this article. So basically, what it's going to go through, and I thought this was going to be actually a positive thing, but apparently it's not currently working for Vulkan games. So that's like Doom and games like that. But anyways, it also goes on down here and how to install AMD's FSR4. I just want to come in here. I thought it was how to install AMD's FSR4, but apparently it's how to get Vulkan to work through a third-party tool. So again, if you want to see how to set it up, links down below, or you can just read along while I scroll down. Again, sorry about the confusion, and I have not tested it. I think I just have the regular FSR that is included in like games such as Ark Survival Ascended. So, I mean, you can just pause this at any time, read it, or you can just go ahead and visit their website. That way there you can see exactly what is going on, and this way here you can set it up for yourself. Also, Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out soon. Maybe I'll get that game. I don't know. I'd never played the first game, so yeah. So yeah, just go ahead and read that, and I'm just going to read the conclusion real quick. Now, some of you might be wondering why all the fuss for FSR4 on Vulkan, since hardly any new AAA games come out that are fixed to Vulkan. Certainly Doom, The Dark Ages, and Indiana Jones and The Great Circle are the only examples that come to mind when considering recent Vulkan-only AAA releases. And I agree with that to some extent. It's not a big issue in terms of the usability of FSR4. What I take issue with is the fact that it's been nearly a year without any kind of communication or timeline from AMD to eventually sort this out. I mean, I agree. It's been a year. There are other games out there like the Vulkan stuff, and come on, AMD, let's get your act together. Let's fix this. Let's make it enjoyable for everybody. Let's use FSR4 for everybody. I'm going to be honest with you. I know what FSR is. It's basically an upscale technology. It's kind of like artificial frames, or if you're playing at 1080p but you have a 4K monitor and you can't play at 4K, you can upscale it artificially to 4K. That's basically what FSR is. And it's kind of like NVIDIA's DLSS, except I think FSR4, I think the last time I heard, they could have changed it by now. If they have, let me know down below. But I think FSR in general, anybody can use it, whether it's on NVIDIA or Intel or AMD, anybody can install and use FSR4. So we're going to go ahead and head on to our last article for this week, and it also happens to be an article that I received from a comment. They wanted my opinion on PlayStation, so let's just go on over, and it's about the idea that Sony PlayStation is ending its support for PC games. So let me go ahead and I'll read you the comment of the week now that we're here, and I'll have it flash across the screen like I always do. And it's from PickNick96. So he says, "Real talk, what's your opinion on PlayStation axing PC ports? Personally, I'm not happy about it." Alright. I agree. There's nothing really to be happy about it, but, you know, you gotta realize game developers, they used to have certain games locked to their own systems. Like, Nintendo still locks a lot of their games to their systems, like Mario and Pokemon and Legends of Zelda. I don't even think a Legends of Zelda is even out on the PC. So, in order for these game developers to actually make money, they need their, first party games to be exclusive to that platform. And we're going to go ahead and read this first, and I'll continue giving my thoughts. And, you know, I can see both sides to this. So, Sony PC ports have not sold well. As a result, Sony has decided to stop porting its games to PC. According to a report by Bloomberg, the company is also worried that selling its games on PC could impact the Sony PlayStation 5 and the games on that platform. Yeah, there you go. Multiplayer online games, however, may still appear on the PC, so that's good. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's kind of like a middle ground right there. So, granted, you're not going to be able to play the story modes on, say, the PC, like Spider-Man. You're not going to be able to play the campaign, but at least you'll be able to play with your friends online, and this way here, you don't have to buy a PlayStation 5. I mean, I hope that's true. And again, this is from PC World, and links down below. So, I mean, yeah, I can see both articles, and I understand why they're doing this, because the PlayStation 5 isn't selling as well. They're not selling because they're selling Spider-Man on the PC as well as the PlayStation. I mean, before PlayStation 4, all the first-party games was strictly sold on PlayStation. That's like Gran Turismo, Spider-Man, and what was that? Final Fantasy. All of them PlayStation exclusive. It's not going to stop from coming out later through like an emulation device or, you know, anything like that. I mean, at the end of the day, they have to make money themselves. I know it sucks. I know it's not what you wanted to hear. However, you know, I see both sides of the argument here. It sucks, but it's understandable. And, you know, I just think there could be even a more middle ground. Instead of, you know, completely abandoning PC ports, instead of porting it out right away when the game's release, how about for the first year and a half or so, have it exclusively on the PlayStation? That way there, if people really want to play it, We'll buy it for the PlayStation. We'll get the PlayStation. That way, there Sony gets money. And then a year and a half later, release it on PC. For those that want to wait it out, they can get it then. To me, I think that's another middle ground that could happen. I mean, I love the idea that they're not getting rid of the multiplayer aspect of the game. I think that's great. But at the end of the day, like I said, they got to make money. Apparently, they're not making as much money with the PlayStation as, what has been going on. In fact, there's been rumors that, game consoles in general are dying out. I mean, you see it with the ROG Xbox Ally X, which is, basically an Xbox, but it's not a Microsoft Xbox, but Microsoft is allowing them to promote it as if it was an Xbox under the Xbox name. Now, I know PlayStation wants to come up with a portable with the PlayStation 6 because, the PlayStation Portal, with all its flaws, it's not a mobile gaming device. So I can see why they're doing this. They probably want to do this especially for the PlayStation 6 that will eventually come out. But right now it's, I think that is on hold because of the RAM shortages. I think they're holding back until like 2027 or even 2028. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And and thanks again for this comment. But anyways, if you want to be featured on next week's episode of the Comment of the Week, all you got to do is send a comment down below or on Discord, and I'll select either one or multiple. I've been known to select up to like 4 or 5 or even 7. I just want to know what your thoughts are, and if you have an article that you want me to look over and give my opinion on, let me know down below, and I'll go over it, and I can give you my opinion and whether or not I can see both sides. Like, I do see both sides with the Sony thing. I really do. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We can't force a company to, listen to us. Especially, with Discord. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, edit this video. And if you did enjoy this episode of Joe's Bits and Bobs, please consider subscribing. It's free and it helps the channel out tremendously. Also, you can go one step further and become a channel member. Channel members start at 99 cents per month and you get exclusive access or exclusive early access to feature videos such as Joe's Bits and Bobs, such as any review I do in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here and call it a night. I'll see you on tonight's live stream. Peace.